Who do we know in Berwick-upon-Tweed?
We don't.
It's from Queenie Hennessy. She's in a hospice.
Is that a letter?
For a friend. She has cancer.
My aunt had cancer. But you can't give up. It's about what's in here.
And your aunt got better because you believed she could?
She said it gave her hope.
I liked it. Harold's journey, really, all about him, and the fact that he wakes up one morning in his rather quiet, unexciting life, probably rather sad life, and probably very sad life, and where he's in this marriage with Maureen, and he's not communicating with her, and they're having no fun, no joy in their life, and he gets this letter out of the blue, and he completely acts against all his preconceived natures of how he would behave, and he just starts walking. And I thought that's a really exciting decision. Could I leave a message for Queenie Hennessy? Tell her Harold Fry is on his way. I'll keep walking and she must keep living.
Harold?
I'm walking a long way, but I haven't quite got the hang of it yet.
You stink.
Where are you?
I'm going to save Queenie Hennessy.
Have you been drinking?
The only time you walk is to get to the car.
Maureen's reaction to this extraordinarily strange thing that he suddenly decides to do, which sort of catapults her into another sort of life, and everything that she had achieved, which was a sort of cut off from the world, with those net curtains that were like a sort of prison, and keeping the world at bay, is suddenly beginning to invade her home. And on the television, she even sees her own husband becoming notorious. So it's how she deals with that, and how it changes her, and how she's forced into thinking about something which is beyond just grief and beyond just loss. It's loss of her life as she knew it. There is a lesson to be learnt, and I think it's one that is being learnt by people much more now, because mental health, that it's called now, is much more talked about than it was, and hanging on to things. But you can't change people. Everyone's grief is unique to them, and whether they're going to do something about it or not is another thing. Some people take great comfort by the fact that they know their grief, and by keeping in that circle of grief, they sort of feel safe, and that's certainly what Maureen feels, I think. And to step out of that is a very dangerous thing to do. To step out into the real world, where people actually communicate with one another, is very hard.
His journey does get them communicating,
Yeah.
and telling each other what they feel, which they obviously haven't done for years. It's been completely locked, their relationship. So, as you say, the message is communicating, sharing, being kind to each other, and looking out. And it's mountains can be scaled by just doing those simple things. There are far fewer parts in dramas now for older people. The parts where the older people are actually the protagonists and the centre of the films are few and far between. When they do come along, there's some very good ones and very pertinent and strong, but not so many, considering the proportion of the population that older people inhabit. And they have got interesting and bizarre and surprising and funny and tragic lives, and it's not all
Explored.
It's not all death and
No.
and get an awful lot of parts of dementia, or dealing with dementia, or dying, or being bereaved, or going to Dignitas, but all those sort of end of life. But there's a whole area where you're older, but not actually at the end.
It has an enormous amount to say about relationships and the communities we forge ourselves, and the communities which are forged about us. I mean, Maureen in this film becomes suddenly, because she's forced to, great friends with her neighbour, Rex, across the way. And out of that comes a very strong friendship. And because she dares to go, she's forced, because out of desperation she's forced to make some sort of communication with somebody.
I've spent liberation of being able to reach out and be with people and talk to people, and it's invaluable. And if that's a message that comes across, that would be terrific.
You couldn't even say goodbye!
You have to believe in him.
I want to come home. I want my son.
You're nearly there. 18 miles. That's nothing.